Well, hello there, and welcome to Joe's Career Shack. I'm Joe, and today we're going to take a tour of the shack and show you many of the residents and the general layout of the room. Then we'll go ahead and give you some interviews, some close-up shots of a few of the residents, and see how it goes. All right? Well, let's get to it. Right here we come into the Critter Shack, and we have some words to live by here on the door. Then we are looking at our shadow boxes with various tarantula molts and scorpion molts in it, with a empty one next door, but I'm sure come summertime it'll be filled up pretty quick. Now we're going to move up here to the right and be looking at our medically significant scorpions here on the right hand side, varying from Europlectus fishery, Europlectus Platymeris, Parabuthus capensis bright, Hottentottas, different Hottentottas, such as the Susay, the Indian rust, and a few others. We'll cover that later in the video. But here down below we have a king horrid assassin bug colony. They're the largest of the assassin bugs. Then we have a dwarf purple isopod colony, great for cleanup. Pretty small, but with a slight coloring of purple to them. And below that is a Bayless ant springtail colony. They're doing really well. They're an arid species and great for some of the drier climate scorpion enclosures. A armored trapdoor spider, and then a bunch of miscellaneous tarantula spiderlings that we're growing here. Now let's move up to the left hand side here, and we'll be looking at our big tarantula display cases. This is the Trinidad chevron, Chevy, and then next to her we have our friend the green bottle blue. She's kind of out. Looking around. It's not very common. She usually likes to stay here in about the middle where you can't really see her. Now we have the Poecilotheria metallica. One of the prettier tarantulas in the hobby. It's a very vibrant blue, yellow, white. Now we're going to move over to the metallic pink toe tarantula. She's really pretty, and she's actually out. So here's a little bit better view. Oh, well, let's move over to her neighbor, the feather lake baboon. This is a species from Africa. Looking at the Ohhhh, and she's actually looks like she's out a little. That's rare too. These are also referred to as orange bitey things. They're not as bad as they get a rep for, but oh well. Here, empty enclosure we need to find an occupant for. Probably one of our up and coming spiderlings will get that. This is a Malaysian cherry red centipede, a very spicy centipede, reaching a length of about 10 to 12 inches depending. And here we have a blue-legged baboon from Africa as well. Now below we have a native species to the Sonoran Desert, parts of Texas, Louisiana. This is the red-headed giant centipede. Alright, now let's move over to our redwood forest scorpion breeding project. The Brazilian yellowtail scorpion colony. This is a communal colony, so there's a bunch of them in there. Gangster. She's an Androctus australis hectomorph, African fat tail. She's fairly large. Her body's getting pretty close to as thick as your average thumb. Alright, now over here we have one of the largest of the Parabuthus species. This is the Parabuthus velocis orangey. This actually reaches a size comparable to an emperor scorpion, which will reach between 7 and 8 inches. Very large scorpion. Here's where all the movie magic happens, and rehousing and so on. Now here we have Maze. She is a Brazilian red and white tarantula. She's an adult female, obviously, inside her burrow. Well, let's see if we can rotate here and kind of catch a glimpse of her. You can barely see her down in her burrow there. She's there. Here we have another Androctonus species, an adult female. She's back in her burrow there, if you can see it to the middle lower of the screen. Hold up for the winter. And here we have a whipless scorpion, giant vinegaroon. Now we're moving over to this is a Florida bark scorpion colony. They're another communal colony. They're not pathogenic, so there are males and females in here. Now we'll move up to several of our juvenile scorpions. Blue Cubans, Parabuthus, Mozambique thicktails, a couple Hottentottas, a couple Parabuthus velocis, a Hottentotta, a couple black thicktail Androctonus bicolors. Well, that is the room, as you see. It's a little cramped, but it gets a lot of bang for its buck. Alright, here are some of our resident critters, and we'll give you a little info on them and a little closer view and see what you think. Alright, here we have a Costa Rican Stripeknee. She's a little reclusive, but she gets to be a very pretty blue, stripes on the knees. She's a little camera shy today, but we'll see. Oh, there she is. She's a beauty. Alright, well, we'll let her alone and move over here to a scorpion that we have. A Hottentotta, giant hairy alligator back scorpion. It's a rather large one. Ooh, a little aggressive today. Little aggressive. But you noticed a very hairy tail. That's kind of their chick, I guess. And then their back has a similar pattern like an alligator. Alright, let's move on from that guy over to, well, let's go with a Titius smithy, a lesser Achilles thicktail scorpion. And there she is. Little glares from the lights, but not bad. Alright. Pretty mellow scorpion. Not too much to be afraid of. Now we have one of the ones that you really don't want to ever mess with. This is the notorious Death Stalker. Oh, let's see if we can't get any better views. Well, not really. We're not going to disturb her. Cranky one. Alright, here we have a Togo Starburst, or also known to hobby as an HMAC. A very flighty tarantula, so you want to be gentle with your movements, not startle them, or they will be gone. Isn't she a beautiful little girl? She's going to be rehoused here very quickly. She's getting way too big for this enclosure, but she is so stunning. Alright, well, let's put her away and we'll get on to our next one. Okay, we have a Death Stalker here, a Somalian Death Stalker. And we'll give you a little bit better view here. And if you don't see it yet, there you see it now as it lights up green. She's only about a 2-eye, so she's pretty small and in pre-molt. A very pretty specimen. Alright, here we have a blue-fanged skeleton tarantula. Now, the males, their fangs will fade in blue coloring, but the females will be the ones that will keep their blue all the way into adulthood. Let's take this off real gently and give you a little view of her. She's gotten all webbed in there and probably looking to be pre-molt. Not moving a lot, but that's about the best we're going to get today. So we'll put the lid back on and put her back and move on to the next. Okay, here we have a Madagascan black scorpion. A female, and we'll get a little bit better view of her. Right there. She's a pretty young girl. She's only a 4-eye thus far. She's got quite a bit of growing to do. Now she's like, okay, I don't like this light. Okay. So we'll put her away and move on to the next. Okay, here we have a Ephebopus capensis right fat tail scorpion. And there she is. Very nice orange. With those slender pincers and thick tail. That's your warning. She packs a punch. She's an aggressive little lady, so we won't mess with her. Is she pretty? Alright. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, here we have a Hottentotta red alligator back scorpion. And our girl is sitting right here out in the light. Surprisingly, she's not ducking in under cover yet. So we'll get our footage as quick as possible and move on to the next one. Alright, here we have a white spotted assassin bug. These hunt by motion, so they will jump at you no problem. She is a pretty girl. She's mature and alright, here we have a Dominican purple. A youngster. So the purple really hasn't popped out, but it's getting close. A few more molts and we'll be there. You can kind of see the purple starting to come out in the legs and just a slight tinge. She's a pretty girl. Well, what I think is a girl thus far. We'll see later on. Well, that will conclude the tour of the Critter Shack today. I hope you enjoyed. And at this time, I'd like to ask if you could take a moment to like and subscribe. That really helps the channel grow. Also, add those comments down below for any species that you would like to see in the future. If you saw them in the video or you know of them, ask. Go ahead. We can cover it. All right. Well, till the next thing, this is the Career Shack signing off. You have a great day. Bye-bye.